I'm Tom from the Physics Classroom with another video from our Task Tracker series. In this video, I'll be addressing 4 questions. First, what's the big idea behind a concept checker? Second, how can you quickly preview our collection of concept checkers? Third, how do you assign a concept checker to your Task Tracker class? And fourth, how can you customize a concept checker? Let's get started. The Physics Interactive section of our website includes nearly 100 interactive simulations in which students manipulate a variable and observe the outcome upon the system. Nearly every one of these simulations is accompanied by a classroom-ready exercise that teachers can freely download and use in their classrooms. Each one of these inquiry-based exercises guides students through a collection of manipulatives towards an intended learning outcome. Ever since the advent of Task Tracker on our website, a common teacher question has been, can we use Task Tracker with the Physics Interactive simulations? As we became more aware of teacher interest in doing so, we knew we needed a solution. Our solution eventually became concept checkers. A concept checker is an interactive questioning module designed to be paired with a simulation and the accompanying activity sheet. The idea is that a teacher, using the simulation in their classroom with the activity sheet, could post-process the simulation and then assign the concept checker as a follow-up, as an assessment for understanding. If you have enabled Physics Interactives with concept checkers for your Task Tracker class with the intent of using concept checkers, then there's 3 things that you should know. The first is probably obvious, and that's that a concept checker is not intended as a standalone, but instead to be paired with a Physics Interactive simulation. Second, some of our Physics Interactives have the concept checking built directly into the interactive and don't require an external concept checker. I'm thinking of interactives such as Vector Walk, Name That and Graph That Motion, Free Body Diagrams, Go for the Gold, Chart That Motion, and many more. These interactives have the Task Tracker code built directly into the interactive, and as students interact with the interactive, we'll keep track of their progress. And finally, not all Physics Interactive simulations have a concept checker. Like our other Task Tracker features, we offer teacher preview versions of concept checkers. You can access those teacher preview versions from the Teacher Resources page. Log into your account and tap on Teacher Resources. Scroll down just a bit where you'll see the link to preview concept checkers. Tap the link and you're on the teacher preview page for concept checkers. You can scroll down the list and see the variety of concept checkers that we offer. You'll notice that for some of these concept checkers, there's an asterisk after the name. The asterisk after the name indicates that there's no actual concept checker. Instead, the concept checking is built into the Physics Interactive. So we'll track students as they go through the simulation as opposed to having a standalone concept checker. Let's suppose that you're teaching Newton's laws, and for years you've used the rocket sled simulation on our website, but now you can use a concept checker with that. Scroll through the list until you find Newton's laws and look for the rocket sled simulation. Here it is. Notice the 4 links that we provided. A link to the simulation, a link to the downloadable student activity sheet you can use with your classes, a link to the student version of the concept checker, and a link to the teacher preview version of the concept checker. Click on the preview version to open the concept checker for the Rocket Sled Interactive. The purpose of Teacher Preview Mode is to allow teachers to quickly view all the questions in a concept checker and their organization into question groups. By so doing, you can make a judgment as to whether or not this concept checker is appropriate for your classes. Now, as you go through the concept checker, you may find that there are 9 question groups and you really don't like 2 of them. Make a note of the question group numbers for those question groups, and then you can remove those question groups from your student's experience. We refer to that as teacher customization. Tap on the Start Teacher Preview mode. On the right side of the screen, you'll see a little navigation panel that allows you to navigate from question group to question group and from question to question. You'll be able to view the question and the organization of those questions into question groups. You'll note that we describe the number of question groups and the number of questions, and for each question group, we describe how many questions are in that question group. As you're going through this concept checker, let's just suppose you say you don't like question group 6 and you don't like question group 8. Write that down. When you assign this concept checker, you'll remove those question groups from your student's experience. Now let's assign a physics interactive with a concept checker. Log into your account and click on Classes. Find the class you wish to assign the concept checker to. Open the class. Make sure as a class feature, Physics Interactives is listed. If it's not, and you wish to enable Physics Interactives with concept checkers, then make sure you have sufficient number of seats and then go to Class Settings. Check the box next to Physics Interactives and it should show on your class features list. Now we need to create a topic. The topic we're creating is like a folder to store these Physics Interactives with concept checkers. Make sure from the subscription type pull down you have Physics Interactive selected. Then look for the Physics Interactive topic you're interested in assigning. I'm interested in assigning rocket sled in the Newton's Laws section. I select Newton's Laws and click Submit. We just created a folder for you to store all the Newton's Laws concept checkers. Now tap on the Create New Task. When the task property page opens, select from the pull-down the name of the concept builder that you wish to assign. Then type in a teacher message, anything you like. Set the visible by date, that is the date that this concept checker assignment will first be visible on students' assignment board. Set the due date. If you wish for late submissions, then you can check the box and set a late submission date. Then, if you wish to have a late submission penalty, you can enter that in the box as well. Now the health penalty will show up by default. It's 10% for rocket sled. They're usually very low for the concept checkers. You can keep it as is. What the health penalty is every missed question lowers a health bar on the student's screen starting at 100 by 10%. If it goes down to 0% before the student's progress bar goes up to 100%, the student has to start over. There's no penalty in the sense that their score will be deducted. They're just going to have more practice because their health is rather low. Now it's time to tell Task Tracker how you want this assignment scored. Completion points are points that are earned when the student completes all the requirements of the assignment. If you require 7 question groups to be answered, then they'll earn completion points only if they answer those 7 questions. If they get 6 correct, then they won't earn those points. They're all or nothing points, no partial credit whatsoever. The total points is simply the total points for the assignment. Like, I want this to be worth 10 total points. Now, if I entered 2 points for completion points, then the student will only earn those 2 points if they answer all the questions correctly. The other 8 points will be given based upon the number of question groups they've answered. So if there are 8 question groups and they answer 6 of them, they would receive 6 points for answering 6 of the 8 question groups, but 0 points because they didn't earn the completion points. Total score, 6 for 10. I'm going to put 0 for the completion points and make this a 10-point assignment. Then I'm going to click Submit, and we've saved your concept checker. Once saved, tap on the Back to Task button. Now it's time to customize your concept checker. Remember, there were 9 question groups in this concept checker, and when I previewed it, I did not like question group 6 or question group 8. It's time to throw those out so they're not part of my student's experience. Next to question group 6, I'm going to tap on the trash can. This removes question group 6 from the student's experience. I'm going to do the same for question group 8. Remove it from the student's experience. I now have 7 question groups in my assignment. The assignment's worth 10 points, so each question group is worth 10/7 of a point. I like what I have. I'm now going to head back to my class, Period 1 Physics, and there I should see the folder that I've created, the topic, Physics Interactives Newton's Laws, and if I open that up, I should see the task that I just created, rocket sled. If I ever want to edit this task, I can by clicking on the pencil or edit icon. And if I want to view the student scores, I can tap on the view icon or the eyeball and view the student scores on this particular assignment. Pairing a concept checker with a physics interactive simulation and a classroom-ready activity sheet makes for an engaging lesson plan with a built-in checkup at the end. If you have a question or comment, please leave them in the comment section below, or you can find our contact email at the bottom of the Teacher Resources page inside of your Task Tracker account. We're always glad to hear from you. I'm Tom, and I thank you for watching.